Today, on Anchor News Now, we will be covering fun moments from the Pep Rally, Rango's birthday, basketball, and the banning of cell phones. Anchor News Now starts in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to episode 13 of Anchor News Now. I'm Chloe Beckler.
And I'm Natalie Presley. Last week, the entire school showed their school spirit at the Winter Pep Rally. Classes competed to see who had the most spirit in a series of games, challenges, and more. Join our on-field reporter, McKenna Coleman, with more coverage on the event.
McKenna Coleman from Anchor News Now. As you can hear, it's very loud. Stakes are high as classes are trying to prove who's loudest. And spirit is very high.
In second place, we have the sophomores. And in first place, we have the seniors.
Recently, the boys' varsity basketball team faced off against the Midview Minis in a stellar match. It was a tight game with many exciting moments. In the end, our showmen took the L with the score being 52-47. This defeat moves them to the 4th in the SWC with many more games to come, including a home game against Olmsted Falls in the coming weeks. Good luck to our showmen as they continue to strive to be at the top of SWC.
There are a lot of different people who come together in Avon Lake. Meet one student, Pablo, who came all the way from overseas.
My name is Pablo. I'm from Argentina and I speak Spanish.
What brought you to Avon Lake?
My dad's job, he got a really good offer in the Cleveland Clinic, and this is a place that is near both the main campus and the Avon campus and Lorraine and Fairview, so it's just this spot in the middle and it's a good location.
What is the notable differences between the culture where you used to live versus here?
I think here, well, in both cultures you tend to help a lot, but here it's more of a give culture and not receiving anything in exchange. In Argentina it's more, if you do me a favor, I'll do one for you later.
All right. What's the hardest thing to learn when moving here?
Probably the language, because watching movies you can understand a little how people here work, because as dumb as it sounds, people here, it's like a movie. It's all the time like a movie and it's pretty fun, so learning the language was the hardest part.
How often do you visit back in Argentina?
I tend to go once a year to visit family and yeah.
All right. This is McKenna with Anchor News Now, signing off with Pablo. And lastly, can you please say goodbye in your native language?
No emo.
Thank you.
Did you hear Rango just turned a year old?
Who's Rango?
The wizard, of course. You can find out in the next segment where I spend a whole day with Rango himself. Check this out. Hi, my name's Chloe Beckler, and I'm here at the Avon Lake High School with Rango, the bearded dragon. You can find him in the media center behind Mrs. Ross's desk. Follow me to the media center through the high school from the front office as I show you where Rango's enclosure is located. Now, we are going to interview Ms. Tomlin and ask her some questions about Rango. What what made you want to get Rango?
We thought we needed something to engage the whole high school. So we did a lot of research. One of the reptiles that came to our interest was the red-bearded dragon. We got him from PetSmart. PetSmart itself has a grant to put pets in the classroom. And we got him 1 year ago. He came to us in a little butter dish that I held in the car when we drove away.
Rango is a pretty cool little dragon, and when you have the time to come visit him, he would love to see you. Remember, you can find Rango behind Mrs. Ross's desk in the Media Center. I'm Chloe Beckler. Until next time. Last month was the Consumer Electronics Show. You know what that means? It's time for Week in Tech.
Welcome back to Week in Tech, where, again, it's a month in tech. Producers, please fix. This episode has some of my coverage about CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, where all of the people who make cool, innovative, and downright stupid things to show the world those things, and also a little bit of a silly bit at the end. Let's start with a rather innovative one from a company you'd probably never expect. Disney has decided to make a move in the VR and AR industry. However, the tech they show is actually rather interesting. Disney's HoloTile is an omnidirectional treadmill that allows the person inside of it to walk around seamlessly as if they were actually able to walk and run inside of that world. It adjusts your walking speed and direction automatically and even allows for two people to walk on different parts of the HoloTile at the same time. The HoloTile will link up to your headset and allow you to play games with actual locomotion. Possibly one of the coolest things about this is the ability to put an object on the HoloTile and through the use of a specific game, move the object around the tile like you're using the Force. Here's something weird and cool at the same time. This is the LG Dukebox. The Dukebox is a speaker for your phone that has a touchscreen display and tubes? This is like foreign technology from a different world, but in perspective, it actually makes a lot more sense. The tubes separate the song into each instrument on each track and combine that with the 360-degree speaker technology. Not only will your music sound better, it'll be far more immersive than most other speakers that you can buy. Who knows, maybe the future of speakers is actually the Dukebox. Now, here's one of the best things that I've probably seen from this show. An iPhone case that does something very special that is near and dear to my heart. It adds a physical keyboard taking inspiration from BlackBerry phones, and this case adds a physical keyboard with small buttons that you'll be able to use when typing. And it has that same clicky little feel you might expect if you used a BlackBerry in the past or have a phone with an actual physical keyboard on it. It works with the latest iPhone models, and if your phone doesn't feel big enough, this will certainly help with this issue. The device itself is $140 and is currently available for pre-order. Honestly, if I could, I would totally buy it. And finally, for our last topic, let's steer away from CES into something a little more interesting and trendy at the moment, I guess. A subject I've wanted to talk about for the past week. Pokemon finally has some competition. Out of completely nowhere, a game called Palworld released onto Steam and has since taken the gaming world by storm. It's a simple concept, Pokemon, but you can force them to do work for you. Alongside this, it's a factory and base building game alongside an action combat game. Basically, it's just a violent version of Pokemon. And as a parody of this game, it's actually really good. It's so good, in fact, that by the time of writing this video, it's sold around 8 million copies in 6 days. Not only that, but it's reached a concurrent player base of 2 million people, all playing the game, all at the same time. Not only this, but this has managed to beat out nearly every other game in terms of sales in a specific time period, indie and AAA, but also the actual Pokemon series itself. The game is sold faster than Pokemon Legends Arceus, the first open-area Pokemon game. However, the game has had its fair share of controversy already, and the success of the game has caused people to become quite angry. Mostly Pokemon fans who felt like this game's success was artificial, which is Actually, one of their claims related to accusations of AI art being in the game, and that was swiftly shut down by the fact that, as by testament by multiple devs of the game, everything was hand-designed. Posts came up crying plagiarism, saying that models were stolen or used as a base for the creatures in this game, and many people ran with this. But then the actual original poster came out and said that it was fake. Now people who hate it mostly just hate it because it's popular, and a lot of people are like that, so it's not a big deal. But I digress. Come back next time for more news about technology and more CES coverage, like a lot more.
Did you hear schools are starting to ban cell phones during the school day?
I did not. That sounds awful. What are we gonna do?
Don't worry, Anchor News Now got the scoop asking students and teachers their thoughts on a ban. A school in Florida has recently decided to ban cell phone use during instructional time. They also were able to block students' devices from accessing social media while being on district Wi-Fi. Due to this ban, it has caused schools around the country to consider the issue of whether or not the usage of cell phones should be allowed during the school day. Anchor News Now members asked Avon Lake High School students and teachers their opinion on this topic.
I think cell phones should not be restricted because, especially at school, I think students have a good idea of the boundaries of when to use their phones and not. So, like when a teacher's talking, most students will put their phones away to be respectful, but during study halls and stuff, I think it's good to have phones.
I think banning cell phones is not a smart idea because if you're actually in trouble and you need to contact your parents or somebody that you need, it's always good to have your phone there so you can get help and everything like that.
I would say that probably 5 years ago I would have been against it for sure, but I think lately I've been wondering if it would be better to have full attention, you know, for myself, not just for the students, but it would be good for people to remember what it was like to be bored for half a minute as opposed to like always just reverting to their phones.
I don't think that we need to ban cell phones because we're adults and we know when to use our phone and when to not.
Well, I think banning cell phones is probably a little bit harsh. I do think there are mental health concerns that may want you to, and productivity concerns in class that may encourage teachers or administrators to come up with some ways to restrict cell phone use. But obviously there are also safety concerns where, you know, you want students to be able to have contact with the outside world quickly. Unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. At the same time, yeah, you want your classrooms to be productive. You don't want students to be distracted. You don't want students to have to deal with some of the mental health issues that are going on with cell phones. But at a certain point, you also have to learn how to use the technology responsibly too. And when does that occur? Does that occur in elementary school, middle school, high school? So a lot of things for administrators and educators to unpack to figure out what's the best way to make it a good experience for students.
That's all we have for today.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to check out our YouTube channel for more episodes and content.
And don't forget to leave a comment down below and hit that like button.
For Anchor News, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Chloe.
Bye.